This is the Trinidad and Tobago National Commission for UNESCO, the United Nations educational, scientific and cultural organization, of which Trinidad and Tobago has been a member for more than 40 years. In the activities of the UNESCO Associated Schools Project Network and the UNESCO clubs.
So the National Commission for UNESCO offers for young persons the opportunity to be involved in the Associated Schools Project through their schools, as well as UNESCO clubs. Now, UNESCO clubs spans more than just the school environment. It involves community members, community activists, young persons in the community.
2005 to 2014 is the United Nations Decade for Sustainable Development. And students and teachers, ASP net schools in 180 countries and UNESCO clubs in 80 countries around the world are being encouraged to pilot projects for sustainable development and peace building. These projects are combined with activities that promote international understanding and intercultural dialogue, enabling students, teachers and communities to create quality education practices.
Participation Solidarity Program of UNESCO was developed because of the twinning of Trinidad and Tobago with Norway. And a lot of that work was done by Monica Regisford Douglin, who eventually became coordinator and who herself was recognized by UNESCO as one of 9 teachers worldwide for World Teachers' Day some years ago.
A very good relationship was established between our school and a school as far further than the Arctic Circle, the Soledad Secondary High School, and we've had about 3 or 4 exchanges. Students coming down, and what we do, we organize homestays in that they go and stay with families. When we go to Norway, we also stay with families. So we learn about their culture, they learn about ours. For example, this year we are going to, it's the UN year to observe the International Year for the People of African Descent. We have only been looking at what is happening in the book. We want to go a bit further. Take the children to Ghana, to one of the West African countries. All of this is supported by the Trinidad and Tobago National Commission for UNESCO, because that is, we operate from here. Whenever we have any activity at all, whether it is the Sandwatch project, which is another project, which is an environmental project, teaching for sustainable development. Whatever projects we have, it is always supported by the National Commission for UNESCO.
I became the coordinator for the UNESCO clubs and also for the ASPNet, because the two tend to go hand in hand, because the work is really based on UNESCO's ideas in both cases. However, the club has more leverage in that the club is really a group of persons within the community, whether it is in the school or outside community, that can operate by partnering with other groups, partnering with other NGOs, engaging in projects within the school system as well as in the community. You have clubs in the primary schools, in the secondary schools, and in later times we have a club in the university, and then we have community clubs. Most of the clubs are in the secondary schools. So that was one achievement, the increase in the number of clubs. As a vice president for the region, I was also able to assist other Caribbean countries to start a movement in their country. A lot of the work was done by way of the internet. And we in Trinidad and Tobago, because of all this, we were respected as the country that is foremost in the work of UNESCO, both with the clubs and with the ASNet.
The activities of the ASP net schools and UNESCO clubs impact on curriculum development as students and teachers work creatively and best practices emerge, as in the case of the Sandwatch project.
Working with the teachers who we were inviting to become part of the UNESCO Associated Schools Project Network, we decided we would launch very proudly the Caribbean Sea Project. We had no funds at the time to do it. It was an idea, but we had enthusiasm and we had the support of persons like Dr. Avril Siang Chang and Susan Sherland, who at that time were working with the Institute of Marine Affairs in Trinidad and Tobago. With their help and with the input of our colleagues at the UNESCO headquarters in Paris, we developed a proposal and we launched the Caribbean Sea Project. And in 1998, we took it a step further when at a regional workshop out of the Caribbean Sea Project, we launched. The teachers around the region figured, well, they wanted to focus a little bit more on coastal areas. And so we launched the Sandwatch Project.
We have been working in a number of areas, and the programs that have developed and what we have developed in conjunction with the National Commission would have benefited our students in many ways. The Sandwatch program, which is one that was developed here in Tobago some years ago, adopted the Sandwatch program, have used the Sandwatch program for a number of years for persons who are preparing for their practical school-based assessments.
Sandwatch is basically a beach monitoring activity where we take students along with community members. We look at the beach, look at the problems that we have on the beach, and thereafter we analyze all our data and come up to at least one solution that is affecting that beach. So it's an environmentally and scientifically based program where we train young people in scientific measurements on how we monitor and preserve that beachfront. Because we look at accretion, erosion, we look at the currents, we analyze the sand particles, and we have a whole story of what's taking place at the beach.
Through the National Commission, we have visited countries such as Tobago and Brazil, where I've learned about different cultures and people. As a member of the UNESCO Club, I was able to grow and mature as a person. In the St. Joseph's Convent UNESCO Club, we learn about the environment and how to develop relationships with people. The National Commission has afforded me the opportunity to do all these things.
Through the National Commission, Naparima College was able to form a UNESCO club approximately 3 years ago, and I have been a member for that same 3 years. The UNESCO club has really had an impact on my life. Because of this commission, our club has been able to expand further into our community and not just stay in our school of Naparima College. We have been able to venture into needy schools and give our time, talent, and just show our appreciation for the younger members in society.
Activities are not restricted only to schools. There is growing interest among community groups, and the National Commission is reaching out to them, as in the case of the Children of Peace.
We started about 12 years ago. Founding member was Claire Russo and my mother, Elfie Fritz. Then over the years, we, the young ones, we were members, and as we grew up, I think, we decided, my sister and myself, decided that we would want to have this as a main project for the year. So this is what we do. We Children of Peace. We are a member of the UNESCO Club, and for the past 5 years, we have decided to have this Junior Carnival Band. We look at UNESCO as helping the young ones to have a sense of self. We do visit when there are activities going on in the club, and we encourage the children to be active members rather than just being part of a club. We do go places. The children see the country, places that they may not have ordinarily gone with their own families. It's something that I would like other parents to think about too.